Welcome to Martini Time, the happy time of the day, and when we come together and share a few thoughts we've had, and perhaps a drink or a martini or a glass of wine or grape juice, I don't care. And so everything today, time is on our mind today because it's coming up on the end of the year, the end of time, 2017. And it's almost like we believe that, I'll put this here. So let's talk about time here. How much time do I have? Now that's how you tell time. So I'll put this here and see. I don't know, I've never timed that. We'll see how it is. I even have to time the time. But anyway, we're all talking about time and what we did during the year as if time was a year. It's kind of like time is kind of like inches. You don't see an inch walking around. It's always an inch of wood or an inch of finger or something. So, in other words, inches don't exist by themselves, and time doesn't exist by itself. You've never seen an hour walking around or a year. It's always the manifestation of life, you see. And so in the West, and I've been reading about this today and thinking about it, in the West, Western civilization is built on the objective view of reality that was born in the Age of Reason or the Enlightenment with Francis Bacon and Galileo and Copernicus and Descartes. These original thinkers of the 16th century began to see the limitations of the Middle Ages that was dominated by the religion and church and the need to be saved. So the dominant theme in the Middle Ages was to be saved. So they built these great cathedrals for salvation. Everything was about salvation. And the whole earth, sky, heavens, everything was all about being liberated or going to heaven and not going to hell. Even the science was based on that. But then the birth of the Enlightenment or the Age of Reason or the objective view was interested in certainty. What is truth? Descartes, what is truth? What is existence? What is it that I can't doubt? So he comes down to the I think, therefore I am. Well, I'll start with that, you see. So the whole objective science, rational, empirical search for truth was born, and it created this, Facebook, computers, the whole thing. But something is missing. And I think it has to do with time. See, Zen, in Zen, Dogen, who was the 12th century Zen master, really talks a lot about time, called being time. Being time. Time. Things don't change. Things are change. Henry Bergson, of the who was the kind of like the primary Western idealist, had a different view of the world. And so the conflicting views here that we all dance with is idealism, whether everything is mind or everything is matter. And we live in a matter world. Science today has always seen and thrived on the certainty that everything is matter and it can be known. We can know everything if we have enough time, you see. But then the Eastern view, Buddhism, yoga, Zen, all that, this different view, and time is understood differently. And so now we get a lot of this on Facebook now. This non-dualism. Oh, everything's an illusion. I don't really exist. Why bother? What's the ego? Well, it's all an illusion. It's all appearance. It's all illusion. It's all Maya. You don't exist. So this doesn't work either. You see, this whole thing between idealism and that only mind exists, and then you say, well, then mind doesn't exist either, so nothing exists. Well, it's just word games, you see. Or matter is just everything is objective, you see. But this objective world depends upon space-time being separate from you and me. So we're kind of like, we believe, this is common sense, we believe we're in space-time, and so we're born into it. We run around for a while, we have so much time, and then we leave. But the world stays the same. It's not dependent upon you and me. So this view of time is something that I think is even in Star Wars. There's a view, the idea of the Force, and I talked about this last night. The Jedi Knight, you see. I'm wearing these because it's cold here in my Jedi cave. You see, my Jedi cave, you see. So anyway, I'm probably rambling right now, but I'm trying to get to a point, if there is a point, that the two different ways of time are contradictory. Now, the objective view of time is that I'm an object in space-time. I'm a thing. And I can be aware of myself as a thing. Oh, here's a hand. You see, that's a thing. And I'm looking at myself in the mirror reflection of the iPad. Oh, there's a thing. You say, oh, it's talking. A talking thing. A thinking thing, you see. So, this whole idea that I'm a thing that thinks in time, you see, that we have the sense, but time is something external to us, you see. But the Jedi view, the Zen view, and even the ancient Hebrew view is that things are time. Things are change. Time is change. Buddha says everything is impermanent. That means everything is change. The Greek philosopher Heraclitus, I believe, said everything is a flux. You can't step in the same river twice. So there's this conflicting idea: am I in time or am I time? You see, am I time? Is reality change? And I'm reality. Am I change? Am I changing? Is there anything that is fixed in me? You see, this is a question. Is there anything that is fixed in me? Well, usually we have created the ego. You see, the ego was created, the modern ego was created in the Enlightenment, and it's begun to get stronger in the modern world, which changes pretty rapidly. Change was very slow. Now it's very fast. So what do you cling to when everything is changing? Well, you create an idea of yourself, a self-image that doesn't change. And that's your reference, you see. That's what we cling to in the modern world of change, rapid change, you see, is the sense of me. That's fixed. And so now the me has to fix itself by opinions. And then I have to get into opinion groups, religions, political parties. I have to get into a group of me's, like me's. And we become more fixed the bigger the group, you see. So this whole idea of time is kind of like the time is kind of like the tides that washes away your sandcastle. So time, everything is changing, you see. So we build a little sandcastle. Oh, look how much time I have. So we build a sandcastle in an hourglass. Here's my sandcastle. Here's my me that I have built and that I depend and cling to and that I fear dying, you see. Here it is, right there. And maybe here I was 10 years old, you see. And, gee, how much future sand have I got, you see? Or maybe here, as it fills up, you see, I'm more and more on the other side of the time, you see. So I'm 81, so it's almost filled up now, you see. But this is all depending upon an idea that I'm something fixed, that I'm going through my fingers like sand, you see. Oh, I've got only so much sand left. Oh, the terror of it. When we're young, we've got all this sand here. Now when we get older, it's more like that, you see. Oh, I've only got a little bit of sand left, you see. I've just got a little bit. Oh, the horror, you see. Because I believe that I'm sand. I believe that I'm in time, a thing that only, see, that's the fallacy of the objective view that believes it's the only view. That's the problem we're having today. The objective view is it, you see. So if that is the only view, then I'm just a thing, some sand in time. And I'm afraid my time is running out, you see. And so now I have to do something to, I'm anxious, I'm not able to be happy here in this moment because I haven't got much moments left, you see. So I'm constantly trying to hold back the sand, stop the sand, make it more fixed, you see. Anyway, my bell rang. So this today was just my contemplation on time. And I think in Star Wars, when we're talking about the Jedi Knight and the Force, there's a different idea of time there. When you are the Force, you are time. You are in sync with time. So whatever you do, you have timing. Whatever you do when you are time is time. You have timing. You can't do wrong, you see. So we slip into in moments in our life when we are Jedi Knights and we are not in the Force, we are the Force. See, we're not in the Force. It's not like the Force is something external and we have to catch it like a bus or a train. You see, I want to catch the Force. No. There's a surrender to time. There's a surrender to time as being. Time and being are one, you see. So when we surrender to being, which is this present moment, we surrender to time, and we no longer need time. We have all the time we need because we are time. We are time, and now we have timing. And now we're okay. There's no sand to run out, you see. There's no sand to run out. Thanks for dropping in.